Manchester City throw away a 2-goal lead. The brilliance, the mentality, the sensational Real Madrid win 3-1 on the night. Benzema, Big Benz with the winner again from the penalty spot. Man City fail again in their attempt to become European champions. £2.3 billion spent. Pep Guardiola regarded as the best manager in the world and still not over the line. What a game. What a night of football we just witnessed. This is the Football Terrace. This is the fans highlight and reaction show. We want to hear from you right here, right now. Smash that like button. Every one of you, give it a hit. If you enjoyed tonight, if you're sad because of tonight, if you're buzzing because of tonight, smash the like button. Subscribe to the Football Terrace. Here we go.
Absolutely magnificent.
What a night of Champions League football we have just witnessed. So much to talk about, so much to digest, so much to sink our teeth into. But what a sensational night. I want to hear from City fans. Another foul-the-tempered Champions League glory. Supporters of Real Madrid, 3 rounds running. You weren't the better team for the majority of the game, but the mentality of your boys, of Real Madrid, to get themselves through is nothing short of sensational. It will always override ability. It will always separate the very good from the best. Out there, where it counts, where it matters. What a mentality monster final we have got ahead to look forward to as Manchester City fans. And as football fans. Man City fans, of course, not so much. They're now under pressure to win that league. Can you imagine if City win nothing from this point? Inconceivable just a few short weeks ago. It really, really is. Pep is a European bottler, #fraud talk. Listen, he's won the Champions League, so he's not a bottler. But there's something about Man City trying to win the Champions League. There's something about it I don't understand. I don't quite get it. I don't know why they can't take their domestic mindset and turn it in and twist it on its head. Bring it to the European game every single time. And I tweeted tonight that City were in control. But we were just about to move into the period of the game where clutch moments happen. They took the lead a few minutes later. And I thought to myself, that's it. I thought, that's it. It's over and done with now. This is finished. There is not a catch chance in hell. They've been too good. I was actually getting ready to really praise City around. That was a sensational performance up until they conceded the first goal from, I can't remember the guy's name, Rodrigo. Because they didn't make the game a spectacle. They kept it quiet. They made it hard. It was almost boring from an entertainment perspective, but a brilliant Champions League knockout performance when you're leading and then you get the 2-goal lead. And then one moment of concentration lapse, the first shot on target in the game. And from that point, I felt it. I wish, this is when I wish I was doing a watch along. They're out. They're out. They're done. They are dusted. They are finished. Because I knew the tide was going to turn. Because they don't believe. And I said on Straight Facts earlier today, they don't 100% believe in themselves that they can beat the best teams on big European nights. They don't believe in themselves, Man City. They are just a sandwich short of a picnic when it comes to the mentality aspect of this game. And I don't feel sorry for them. They spend a lot of money. They should be at the point. They should be there by now. But who does this go down to? The players not believing. Pep Guardiola, does he get looked at tonight? 70 minutes on the clock. You take off KDB. You take him off. Huge mistake. Massive. It gave me, when Man United won the treble, Bayern Munich took a lot of their best players off. Mateus came off the pitch. Best player on the night, one of the best players in the world at the time, took him off. Chicken dipper. That's what happens. I think Pep needs looking at tonight. Now, I want to go to your comments, but look, I want to also praise Benzema tonight. Confirmed himself as the greatest and the best human being to ever play in the Champions League. No human being has ever been better in the Champions League than Karim Benzema. That's it. Not one single human being. Now, when I say not one single human being, we don't need, I'm going to explain it for the silly people. Ronaldo and Messi are aliens. They're not human beings. I'm taking them out. We've got to start taking them out of conversations and just speaking about the rest. Because Benzema's the best human being. In the Champions League, better than R9. Point blank. Clutch. A winner. The amount of goals, better than Raul. Better than Ruud van Nistelrooy. For me, even better than Lewandowski because the amount of times the geezer's won it as well. Just the guy. Better than Suarez. The best human being to ever play Champions League football without a shadow of a doubt. The geezer is an absolute phenom. And maybe we're only noticing it now because, of course, the brilliance of Ronaldo has left. And he himself said the other day, don't blame Ronaldo for me not being as noticed. He just outshone me. But he's a sensation. I need that like button smashed by the way, my people. Let's get that hit. Panel coming out soon. We've got Jess coming on. Rack will be there. Mo will be there. Gunner Souls will be there as well. KJ Worker. Just funny. Nobody really wants to be on the panel tonight. Oh, no, it'd be a boring game. The amount of messages I've had. Can I come on, please? Can I come on? Should have said yes earlier. You're part-time football fans. Whatever else. If you were out with the missus tonight, shame on you. If you were spending time with your family tonight, shame on you. Football's on. Football comes first. Always. I'm not. Hey, my brother Liaz backstage as well. Listen, he made me laugh yesterday, Liaz. I went on my Insta, and there he was with his new haircut, like doing this thing on his face, like he's a fly. Like, He looked good, though. The man looked good. He looked good. And I'm not outing him. He literally put it on his Instagram. I've got loads of super chats to jump into a minute as well. And Chike! Where's Chike? Oh, it's not Chike, it's Chuck. I'll go back to that in a minute. I thought it was Chike. You better turn up tonight. But it's time for those super chats. We're going to get more talk when the panel come on to have their say. I can't even keep up with the chat tonight. It is an utter madness. It really, really is. But let's say here, Daniel says, Man City, Man City, City lost the tie in the first leg, defensive errors. Hopefully extra time will wear them out. Never write off Madrid. That was before the game ended, I think. Paulie says City have nobody to blame but themselves. They got complacent at the most critical points. All they had to do was keep the ball and see the game out. And the madness in that is that's what Man City are famed for. That's what Man City do. That's literally Man City's game. Oil Club Slayer does it again. That's 3 on the bounce. That's 3 un, deux, trois. I can't do it in any other language, but that's other than English. Wow, yeah. Why take KDB off? Pep bottles it again, is what Sean's got to say here. A lot of people would agree with you. To be honest, that wasn't a pen. Oh, shut up at your face. I don't know if you're Italian, but that song's in my head. It was a stone wall. Listen, Benzema played him. They used to say Ruben Diaz was Virgil van Dijk level.
They used to say that all the time. Oh, he's as good as Virgil van Dijk.
The man got sold. The man like Leng and Sweet here, big City fan, says we bottled it, but the ref was shocking. Typical City. I called it yesterday. We go again next season. At least he's admitting they bottled it, which they did. Blue Moon hiding because he's a plastic is what C says. Terry, City isn't big enough to beat Madrid. But do you know what? I think they've got the better manager as it stands right now. The better first 11 and the better squad. It's just the mentality. The mentality was the difference at the most crucial moment. Still can't win Champions League without Messi. Listen, that is going to carry Pep around. Fans are not letting that go. Pep has got to hold that. He's got to hold that, Pep. I wonder what Pep's going to say.
I am happy. Yes, I am. I am happy. That's all he's going to say. I know
it. Football heritage beats oil money again. Listen, 2.3 billion spent. No European heritage history. Nothing. Man like to hear calm. Says City beat PSG. City, the PSG of the Prem. Allergic to the Champions League is what to hear. Guys, there's a lot in that. Blue Viper and Free Citizen, the two biggest bums in the chat. As the great Igal said, come outside, City fans. In both legs, Madrid only played better for 10 minutes. Bottle job, fraudiola, let's all laugh. And I think a lot of people would agree with a large element of that. And I'm going to be honest with Real Madrid. They were good against City in the home against Chelsea when they played at Stamford Bridge. But in the vast majority of the games, they had 10, 15-minute spells in all 3 games and are through to a final of a Champions League. It's crazy. I've never seen anything like it, or I don't remember it anyway. Safe travels back to Stockport to the City fans, filling up the 7-seater coach back home. I'm a Liverpool fan, but I can't lie. Someone needs to check that ref's bank statement. City bottled it, but the ref was dodgy. I thought that Carvajal should have had a booking in the first half, but then I've been saying this for weeks now. Referees are reluctant to book and send people off at the minute. It's very strange. We saw Rudiger the other day put his foot in the air and catch Elanga in the head, always a yellow card. Because he was booked, they didn't give it. These things are happening now. Liverpool fan here. City completely bottled it. And to be fair, the ref was atrocious, but who cares? If any club deserves that, it's City. Financial doping, petrol pump club. Real versus Liverpool will be a great watch. It certainly will. The first leg chances, how was Casemiro not booked? Listen, I agree with the not being booked part. I really do. City is that dog that only... City is that dog that's only bad in their yard. All right, and then it comes out its yard. Oh, tail between the legs. I hear you. This may be the first time this season where the red half of Manchester can laugh at the blue side. Don't ever compare Fergie to Pep ever again, is what Joshua's got to say. Sol's backstage going, no, listen, my team's in the mud. My team is dead. My team is finished. My team is ridiculous. My team is an embarrassment. I'm so happy to see City go out. I don't care. I will laugh at my rivals no matter how bad my team is. Can't help it. Listen, City were in League One and they were laughing when Man United weren't winning league titles. That's rivalry for you. City are like a machine but have no heart and soul, is what Jay's got to say. Maybe, may we. Derek here says there's a chair so those City fans can sit down, Terry. By the way, Klopp is better than Pep. Can't wait to play Real Madrid. Proper final. Revenge will be sweet. Liverpool fans, don't cheer too loud. You're next on the Real Madrid EPL hit list. My word, I'm at work and woke up my patience yelling at the TV. Go take care of your patients. Go make sure they're fine, my friend. Big Fat Jack can't buy a goal. Absolute flopped it. Listen, he had 2 chances to score. He didn't do it. 100 mil. Real Madrid thrive on chaos. That's how they beat PSG, Chelsea, and scored 3 in the first leg. City kept it boring, but once the chaos started, it was over. Manchester City just got cheated. Brilliant. Just how Wolves, Everton, and Arsenal. Jackie Gale, 100 million. Let's be real. No one rates City. Guyan says, all I'm going to say is this year will be a special year for Liverpool. Madrid's voodoo will be broken, but Liverpool will walk away with 3 trophies. Listen, that's the only thing that's the sobering fact is I think Liverpool have got more chance against Real Madrid and City. Or maybe I'm wrong. If City don't have the European heritage and belief. I need to get through some more of these super chats. There are so many coming through. I need to get my panel on. Grealish missed chances. Imagine... Oh, someone clicked off of that one. I want to imagine it was Kane. And some of the people on your panel had the audacity to compare Benzema to Lewandowski and Suarez. I'd never compare him to Suarez. That isn't fair on any human being. But there we go. Get me on, Terry, please. Chike, we will share the link very, very soon. Still can't do it without Messi. 25-0. That's the Spanish record versus Premier League teams in finals. Wow. Is that true? 25, aggregate score, you mean? It can't be 20. There can't have been 25 finals between those. That can't be right. This shows Man City's lack of a proper striker. I agree, but it was more about keeping them out. Imagine getting booed off by Forest fans and Villa fans too. Buoyed off. Sorry. Terry, if mentality is so important, who's better, Bruno or Henderson? Overall, straight yes or no answer, please. No political answers. Different positions. Give me someone that plays the same position. I'll answer directly. We're talking mentality as a team more than anything else here, but rewrite that question. If City doesn't win the league, then Chelsea will have a better season than City with the potential of winning 2 trophies despite the sanctions. Good point. Do I hear City fans saying next year will be our year? Ben here says, where are the Chelsea fans saying mentality has nothing to do with those clutch moments? Real showed it in everything to do with it. Never gave up. If I put my money on Real Madrid and Forest in a Champions League final, I'm going Forest. I don't quite get that. If Pep doesn't win the Champions League at City, is he a failure? We're going to speak to the boys about that tonight and girls when we get the panel out. Now watch them bottle the league too. British media never scrutinise Pep or City the way they do United and Arsenal. You're absolutely right. I predicted, by the way, during the last international break, City weren't going to win a single trophy. I was called a fool. I might be a fool in the end, but if it comes true, someone's got to suck my words. My words is what they've got to do. Terry, Real Madrid are the real mentality monsters. Effing bottled, City bottled is what D says. Get in there is what Ben says. Can't wait for Salah hat-trick in the final. Time for revenge. Madrid will beat Liverpool. European pedigree speaks. Can't see Jack Grealish, only see his mop and flopping mop is what Nav's got to say. Real Madrid turning a 2-goal lead in the Champions League is only a City bottle job if you only started watching football yesterday. The reason I say bottle job is because they were so far ahead. It's City with a better team over both legs. It's 2-goal lead with with a minute to go and plus injury time. I'm sorry, it's bottle. But you may not think so, my friend. That's just my opinion. But I personally think that it is. Now, look, I need to bring my panel out because the night is no longer young. Okay, what I need from you all is smashing that like button and that share button as well. I think KJ's still been starring some of these super chats coming through because I've not been able to keep up. It's been almost impossible for me while speaking to you wonderful people. There's a few that we've missed, but we'll go to some more super chats later in the show. Keep them coming in, please. We've got Mo to come on. We've got Jess. We've got Daniel. We've got Leah's. We've got a City fan. City fans here. He's got to speak first. We've got to speak to him first. Rack and Soul's got a big panel on the show tonight. I'm looking forward to speaking to this City fan. I really, really am. But let's get the like button up. We're not even on 1,000 yet. What you all doing to me here? My people. We've got a poll running too. 5,000 votes. Did City bottle the semi-final? 83% say yes. 17% say no. Real Madrid are just better. That is what the poll says there. Time for the panel. Let's go. I haven't even got everybody out yet. My fingers are slipping so badly. Welcome, everybody. City fan, my Canadian friend, over to you, please. You're on mute. We can't. You're not plugged your mic in. You bottled it, mate. You bottled it. Are you there? Can't hear you.
How about now?
There we go.
Perfect.
Okay. I had to mute because I was yelling backstage. Now, I went from being called Vader Games, Vator Games to City fan this week. How things have changed. Mon Dieu, mon Dieu, mon Dieu. Spent this last week picking up on my French, getting ready for this trip to Paris. Mon Dieu, mon Dieu, mon Dieu. That's my God. That's my God in French, by the way. For those of you that want to say that City bottled this, settle down. Please settle down. It's unfortunate finish. In regulation, City was the better team. For 90 minutes, Manchester City was the better team. Stepped up, went to Real Madrid, played these guys tough. But as I've been reminded all week, as I've been told about this heritage, as I've been told about Benzema being on fire, we had him for 90 minutes. Now, after 90 minutes, I give it to Real Madrid. They did their thing. But in regulation, City fought valiantly. You guys may disagree with how we fought, but Manchester City for 90 minutes was the better team. And had the game not required 6 extra damn minutes, we could have been looking at a different result. I don't want to hear any of this Jack Grealish flopping. The man came on, he created opportunities. It's a game of inches. We've been told, we've seen. He missed them. He didn't miss. It was actually a shot on net, and it was saved. It was a great save. Liverpool fans have seen some fantastic saves on the goal line. We know what we know what can happen. But unfortunately, it wasn't City's day. And am I hurt? Am I feeling it? Yes, absolutely. My mic was muted because I was yelling backstage. I was upset. I had to tell my kids, settle down. Now's not the time, kids. Now's not the time. Now, I'm not looking at next year. I'm looking at this season. The season is not over. I'm still hurt. And these players, again, if you see my background, you see the happiness we had on that first leg. And then you see the disappointment on Ederson's face right there. If you can see more of it, actually, some of the other players with their heads down. This is what the Champions League is all about. Highs, lows. It's a tie. We did not come through with it. No. Hold on, Terry. Not come through with it. I heard you're about to jump in. We did not come through with it. I want these players to remember this moment because this is why this Champions League is so important. It doesn't come often. So remember this hurt so you players do not feel it, and me, fans, do not feel this next year.
I hear what you're saying there. I mean, this is literally the Champions League for you lot, though. This is Man City's Champions League history. I want to go to Leah's next on this. Was this a case of City bottling it, in your opinion, or do you feel we're being a little too harsh on them? What are you saying, bro?
You guys done? You're a liar, my friend. Manchester City did not dominate the game.
Do not call me a
liar.
liar.
Hold on. I let you speak for 5 minutes straight. I didn't interrupt you. I didn't interrupt you one time. I interrupted you one time. I let you speak, brother. This is my time to shine now, brother.
I've only mentioned twice. Do not call me a liar on this show.
Manchester City did not dominate that game. You done? Manchester City did not dominate that game. Vinicius, for all the good that he did offensively, in that battle with Kyle Walker, when Kyle Walker was fit, that's an unbelievable battle because there's not many defenders that have the recovery pace to keep up with Vinicius. But Vinicius missed sitters. Benzema missed chances that in the past, especially this season, would have buried every single day of the week. And to be honest, bro, Real Madrid were the better team in regulation, and you could see it especially again. And I keep saying his name over and over and over again because Benzema has been unbelievable. Vinicius has been unbelievable. Modric has been unbelievable. Courtois has been unbelievable. But every single Real Madrid tie this season has been changed when Eduardo Camavinga comes onto the pitch in midfield and changes the game completely. But Manchester City, make no mistake about it, were shook this game. You could tell. And Pep Guardiola, I cannot wait to have this conversation with you guys because seriously, if this guy has a Rolex, the watches are ticking extremely fast right now. That shit is fake, bro. It's fugazi. I'm ready to have this conversation about Pep right now, man. I keep hearing all this great stuff about him. And to be honest, I've always said, for me, he's the best coach on the planet, possibly of all time. But when it comes to being the greatest manager, this game for me and the last 6 editions of the Champions League are perfect proof of why he can never be, until he proves me wrong dramatically, above a Sir Alex. To be honest, this game, for me, proves exactly that. You go into extra time and you don't have the likes of De Bruyne. You don't have the likes of Riyad Mahrez. You don't have the likes of Gabriel Jesus. You take all of them off expecting to win the game. And in 2 minutes, I'll say it again, said it before, and I'll say it again. Football heritage. You guys don't have it. You guys don't have it. And a team like Real Madrid, it's in their blood, bro. It's in the royal white of their kits. It's in the Santiago Bernabeu. You thought you could go to that stadium in those ugly pajama kits and beat the greatest club of all time. Welcome to your Kodak moment, bro. This is it. Real Madrid in the Champions League final. Benzema Ballon d'Or. I'm on cloud 9, bro. You can't beat me today, man. And the Mahrez goal. Oh, my God, bro. Come on. I'm getting drunk tonight,
bro. What were you saying, Jay? What are you saying?
I'm not going to go as hard as Leas did. I don't know if it was that big. They definitely bottled it, and it's mostly just due to the fact that they had scored in the 73rd minute and then turned around and gave up 2 in the 90th. That's what made it a bottle. If if the game had been back and forth and, Manchester City scored a goal, then Real Madrid scored a goal and back and forth, and it was earlier in the game. Yeah, but Pep had started to shut down the game early, took off Kevin De Bruyne, took off players, and then didn't have them for extra time. That's what made it a bottle job. That's really what it is. I mean, nobody's under the impression that Real Madrid can't do this to somebody. They did it to Chelsea, did it to PSG. So we know that they can do this. But the fact that Pep was shutting up shop and then they turned around and gave up those 2 goals, yeah, it definitely was a bottle. But I mean, if you're going to lose to a team, lose to Real Madrid, I guess, because they do have the European pedigree. And so I don't know, you have a team that's capable of winning the Champions League, but they just can't. They can't get it over the line with Pep. And I feel like it's one of those where this might be somewhat of a hot take, but if Pep were to leave and they were to bring in another manager, the same team might be able to do it. I think it's something with Pep. I just think it's Pep. Like, I just think...
No. Je regrette. Qu'est-ce que tu penses?
It's Pep.
No, je regrette.
You can speak French all you want, bro. Say it in Spanish, Egyptian,
I
whatever.
regret. I disagree with what you're saying to a part. Okay, it's the 90th minute, and if you want to criticize Pep for the amount of subs that he made, fair.
KDB doesn't need to go off. Simple.
Pardon me?
KDB doesn't need to go off.
Okay, but for what he did with regards to bringing on Fernandinho and putting, I guess, a more defensive 11, that's him seeing out the game. Now, the amount of subs that he did throughout, okay, we can criticize that because now the match is in extra time. But to have said that he bottled it trying to secure the win, that's where I think you guys are being pretty harsh.
Let me just...
I'm sorry. He's missing the point. He's missing the point. Leah said it. They were better. Real Madrid tactically were better the whole game.
So what? We were better on the first leg.
Why City fans are assuming that Real Madrid were bad? They were forcing you to long balls most of the time to that left side that Carvajal intercepted like 10 times that first half. You had a couple of chances, yes, that Bernardo Silva and the goal you scored. But before that, a sitter, as Leah said, from Vinny. Benzema crossed the ball. If anybody touched it, it goes to the goal. How many times Real Madrid got to the touch line, that goal kick line? How many times we have seen this? How many times Modric just flipped through your midfield? How many times with the ball? How many times Toni Kroos had the ball with all the spaces to pin the ball left and right? This is not City. I'm sorry.
But you guys,
the possession is what you guys think, like, oh, well, we had the most possession, so we were the better team.
Like, it was 51.
You weren't the better team. I don't think you were the better team.
Yeah, but also, Real Madrid, until Rodrigo scored, didn't have a shot on target. So you can look at it in roundabouts. So that if you're looking at it statistically, they didn't have a shot on target. What's the main thing in football? Take shots. We criticize Spurs and Conte for not doing the shots when it mattered.
You guys did not have the same perspective on the first
guys, let Souls talk for a minute. Wait, yeah.
What I'm saying is, like, we talk about football. Obviously, we're talking about stats. We're talking about, but to dominate a game, you also need to get into position to actually shoot on goal. If you're not going to do that, how are you going to score? Yes, they did it when it actually mattered, but to say Pep bottled it, people would have said that if he had left De Bruyne on and said, maybe you should have shut up shop. So regardless, I think Pep's getting blamed for it. But he did the right thing for the first time. I actually agree with the changes because you're 2 goals up against a Real Madrid side who are known for the clutch moment. So what do? Make more attacking substitution or have an attacking side? No, you shut up shop. You go for the defensive options. You try and assure things up a little bit rather than being expansive. Vinicius would have teared. Luckily, Cancelo was there, but Walker was handling him quite well, but not perfectly. There were still moments where Vinicius got things done. So when you then obviously switch the sides and put Cancelo there, yes, he handled things, but Vinicius was getting the better of Cancelo in that moment. And then when you got Zinchenko on the other side and bringing Rodrigo on, what do? You need to then bring a defensive reinsurance. And he put Fernandinho in, who's got the experience. He's 37 today or something like that. So I do think he did the right things given how the game was going. And they didn't need to score in that moment. Yes, it's naive. Yes, in hindsight, we can all say he bottled it. But that team doesn't have the mentality to go ahead and get things done.
Sorry, I want to say before I go to Dan, I want to say on this, I thought City were quite good throughout the course of the game. Yes, of course, Real Madrid caused them problems. I was a little shocked to see a nearly 70-year-old man outpace KDB in the middle at one point. I was a little bit surprised by that. But I thought City did really well. The changes weren't an issue until they conceded. but that's about your team not throwing it away. And it wasn't even conceding the goal that they did. It was after that moment, City become a shadow of themselves. They suddenly drop deep. They become they become too narrow. And suddenly Real Madrid were in the ascendancy from an attacking point of view. They didn't re-grab the game with authority, and it's because they panicked. And I said it earlier on today. I don't believe this City squad truly believe they belong. That club doesn't truly believe it belongs where it is. And where Pep has fouled more than the substitutions, more than anything, is he hasn't instilled the mentality into that dressing room that they belong in the European Cup, the Champions League.
And that's the point I was literally going to make in terms of instilling that mentality. As your job as the manager isn't just to make clutch decisions, isn't just to take all the plaudits because you play an attractive style of play. Pep is the manager who everyone loves. The football's perfect. He always wins. He has no weaknesses. So now, because he's done this, we can't. No, come on, man. Let's be real. He has to take the blame for today because, once again, me personally, when I look at the substitutions, it's a mentality thing. You're telling your team that it's time to chill, it's time to sit back because they weren't in control. You weren't in control of the game enough, in my opinion. And just like you said, after the first goal, once the first goal went in, why did the team panic so much? Why was the panic so run right through the spine of the team to the point where they couldn't handle what Real Madrid were throwing at them? And the point is, I'm even going to go one step further than Liaz. Like Liaz was talking about, like making jokes about the things that were happening and compare it, obviously, Sir Alex Ferguson and whatnot. When are we going to have the conversation about Man City's project being as bad as maybe PSG's? Because all the money, the 2.3 billion that they've spent, PSG are also winning league titles. Just because they're in a farmers league, that doesn't mean they're winning all their league titles.
That's exactly why
But they
you
don't
can't
have a
make
Liverpool
comparison.
competing against them.
Let me land. They spent all their money and pumped all that bread into the team to win the Champions League. That's been the ultimate goal. That's been the number. Let's not get it twisted. Of course, yeah, fair enough. Maybe Pep dominating the Premier League is what makes it a little bit better. Even more than a little bit. Let me not try and downgrade the things that Pep has been doing. But at the end of the day, the point is that all the money has gone into winning the Champions League. And this is another Lyon, Monaco. Who was it? Liverpool, Chelsea, and now Real Madrid. Past 6 years. Ooh, come on, man. We're being so nice on this guy. Because
I think you're. What are you saying, Rack? Now we've got a Jinky Nose to come on the show backstage as well. We'll do some rotation in a bit. So I know you're waiting patiently, my friend. Thank you. Like Rack, you support Liverpool. Out of everyone sitting here on this panel, your club's won more Champions Leagues than our clubs put. I think all of our clubs put together. United with 3. How many Inter got? 1?
Huh?
How many have Inter got? 1?
No,
oh, you got 3. Oh, okay. Actually, so yeah, sorry. Collectively, we've got more than you. 3 of us, helping out the Gooners here. But like, I'm just saying, like, from your point of view, Rack, how do you look at this? As in City's overarching pedigree under Pep Guardiola, is this project a failure? Is it domestic success? Where do you kind of line it up? Because you think about the teams that we consider the greatest of all time, whether it be the brilliant Milan, Man United, Barca, Real Madrid, Liverpool, Ajax teams, every single one of them has this trophy. Man City doesn't. Will that impact the legacy of this team from a global standpoint, in your opinion? You're on mute, my guy.
The Champions League is a gaping hole in City's trophy cabinet right now, and every time this kind of thing happens, the absence of the Champions League becomes more and more stark. Let's not beat about the bush. City have a team and have built a squad capable of winning this title, and yet they haven't done so. They've on probably at least 2 years, probably 3 years. They've got a team capable of doing it, and they haven't managed it under Guardiola. I think City pretty much were okay in the game. I don't think Madrid really posed them that much. There was a period of 10 minutes into the second half where Madrid had the opportunity to really push their advantage through, and they didn't really do anything. It's only the last 10 minutes. They had some near misses, some bits and pieces, but they were half chance at best. Balls that were bobbling up that it would have taken a world-class effort for Vinicius or for Benzema to score those. And I think generally speaking, City will look back at this game as a huge opportunity missed, and they should do. And I hope that they capitulate in the league as well, obviously, as a result of this, because this is going to hurt. This is going to hurt. They were 3 minutes away from being in the Champions League final. And it is what it is, man. I tweeted out that before Real Madrid scored their 2 goals, I said this game's done. City are through to the final. And after the 2 goals, I had to quote tweet myself saying, "Football heritage is real. I'm a believer." So what can I say, man? I'm just looking forward to the final now and bring on Real Madrid. It's our time, man. It's our time.
Can I say something really quick about that? Like the whole Pep, like, is it a failure and that project is a failure? Every time we talk about Arsene Wenger, like every single debate that we have around Arsene Wenger always goes back to the fact that he never got a Champions League. And we can always kind of talk about like how great the football was, how good the team was, all that kind of stuff. We played, like, all the tapes are there. We know that team could have won a Champions League, and they didn't. And it's always a black mark. And so if that's something that's used as a stick to beat Arsene Wenger, then it has to be in the same way for Pep, because right now they're winning the Premier Leagues, which is great. They win domestic trophies, which is amazing, but they don't have Champions League. And they will look back and say, we played nice football, but we didn't get the major trophy. So I feel like it's only fair to say so. And that doesn't mean Pep is a joke or anything. It just, why can't we just speak honestly about it and not make it like it's taboo to talk about Pep? Like, it's not that big of a deal. He's probably sitting there
because he's the best.
That's
coach
incredibly
yet.
fair.
not at Man City though. Like, not at Man City.
But you can talk to them in differences as well, though. You can say the project's a failure, but to say that like Pep now all of a sudden is this, you can't be compared to the best managers. I just think that's.
I didn't say that.
No, but that's how people are moving. Though I'm not saying you've said that.
That's got to be what's separating him from that.
But he's won it twice. He's won a treble. He's won a treble. Not many managers have won a treble. So if you start to then look at what he's also done, you can say a lot of what his achievements, even granted they're at Barcelona, but a lot of them achievements do outweigh a lot of people's achievements as well.
I mean,
So,
do you
yeah,
think
he's
Man
not
City
gonna have one
spent all
club.
this
That's-
money not to win the Champions League? That's we're talking about. Man City, this project, the amount of money that they've spent. Dan's right. They
A lot
have
of people
spent that
who
money
recently
to
have
win
won
the
the
Champions League.
Manchester City.
Leaving their campaign. When you look at Pep, he competes at all fronts. Every single competition, he pretty much every season competes in. Not many teams compete at every single competition. Copa del Rey, Real Madrid were knocked out very early in the Copa del Rey and barely ever win it. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, when you have a manager who does compete in the FA, all right, granted this season he's not done well in it, but in the cup competitions he does very well. In the league, he's made, basically, people have said he's monopolized the Premier League and he's made it like La Liga. But all right, granted, Liverpool have actually changed that narrative a little bit, but he still dominates the league. He dominates the cup competitions. Granted, the Champions League is one of those things, but I just think
But
when
it's,
he
it's
competes
so
at
much
every...
more than one of those things.
Bro, we're comparing.
It's-
We're not
it's
calling
big.
Pep. We're not saying Pep is Roy Hodgson, bro. Like, this is. I think you're trying to like change the narrative.
No. I'm not even. Who's
We're
saying
comparing him
that?
to Sir Alex Ferguson. We're comparing him to the greatest managers of all time right now. And you're talking about trebles. Sir Alex has that. We're talking about league dominance. He's got how many Premier League trophies? We're talking about the finest of margins. No one in their dreams will talk about Pep.
Someone's got a piano in their background.
Oh, if you can hear that.
Yeah.
know.
Is that? I just want to make sure it's not coming off a TV because we'll get a copyright strike.
I want to say something about
No, that's
before
my
we
baby
move
girl
on. I want to say
practicing.
something about Guardiola to complement what Les is saying. I think Guardiola is the best manager in the world to put a system for a club, but I don't think he is even at the top 5 to read games inside and change games. We have seen this. I know that people are going to talk about Liverpool yesterday against Villarreal, but how big of a change that Jurgen Klopp made at halftime. I think Pep makes you the best system to dominate locally, to win against 16 out of the 19 teams you're going to play in the league. He's guaranteed that you're going to dominate. But then comes big games against teams that have quality, that can break your press and can break your system. I don't think he has been there, but because of Messi and Xavi and Iniesta and all these players. But we have seen it with Bayern. I'm sorry, we have seen it with Bayern Munich, and we have seen it now with City. When he plays against teams with big players and players with personality, I doubt his ability to manage the game inside in the minute 60, in the minute 45. I don't think he can do that. This is why he doesn't come back. He doesn't win games against big teams. And we have seen this in Bayern Munich.
Can I go? I keep going back to like I understand Real Madrid today. They didn't have 80 shots on target. But I look at this game. I look at last game. I look at the second leg against Atletico Madrid. Manchester City were not in control of any of those games. No matter how much possession they had, no matter how many shots on target each one of them had, at any single point, you felt that the other team was in it. And you might say, of course, it's a game of 90 minutes.
Sorry, the game of the Etihad. Elias, at the game of the Etihad, Man City dominated the whole thing. Madrid had moments. Madrid had moments.
The other team attacked 3 times. They scored 3. They attacked 3 times. They scored 3
had
goals.
moments. They had moments, but you can't say they didn't dominate the game. They had moments.
No, I didn't say they didn't dominate the game. I said the game was not in full control, and that's what you can never say about Pep in the league.
Imposing.
This is enough.
Imposing. They were not. They allowed Madrid to have these moments, and they were very dangerous moments. And they
you're never going to have 100% domination. That's unattainable at this level.
I get that, but what I want to say though is that City have looked vulnerable since January, and again, I keep getting called a City hater, and I just watch their games, and there's something about them that just isn't right. And I think I'm going to say it again: they ain't got a killer up front, and I know they scored 5 goals in this over this tie, but I still feel like they need that killer up front. I still feel like they're going to throw the league away. They're just getting pipped to the post. But the point
they look a bit tired, Tel. They look a bit tired.
They look jaded.
KDB came off today because he was knackered. Rodri for that third goal. Rodri got skinned alive.
Guys, but this is the point, though. Winning back-to-back Premier Leagues. This is sometimes in football things make me want to put. That's why when someone go, "Oh, team got 100 points," did they go back-to-back? The answer was yes for them. That makes it even better. Going invincible is not as a good achievement as going back-to-back. And I don't mean it as a dig at Arsenal. Maintaining that mental strength and physical strength 2 years running to be the best team in your league is exhausting. If you actually look since the post-war, it's been how many years? We're talking like 80 to 90 years. It's been done something like 11 times. It's not a regular occurrence. It's hard. And they look jaded. But the point we were actually talking about when it comes to Pep is you look at his Man City project. Domestically, it's a resounding success. There is no doubt. But I do not think it is right to rewrite football history. And football history shows us when you look at all the other teams that we hold up as the greatest sides ever of their eras, the greatest sides in their countries. I mentioned them again, the AC Milans, I'm sorry, Mo. Ajax. We look at all these teams. They all have Champions League pedigree to add to that list. And you need it. For me, you don't dine on that table. That project isn't that level of success until you have both your league sewn up and that European success. And I am so consistent with that message. I've said it in multiple debates about multiple subjects. And Pep Guardiola, is he a failure? And this is where we have to not be polarized and binary. He is not a failure because he hasn't won the Champions League with Man City. But the overall product, for me, they cannot ever be looked at as one of the greatest European sides of all time without winning the European Cup. It just you can't be the greatest sprinter of all time without winning the World Championship or the Olympics. I don't care if you've got a world record. You've got to win that medal.
I hear all that.
They will win it one day. They will win it one day, though.
I hope so. How much more money
It might not come back. If Pep leaves,
I know, but
might not come.
I think if Pep goes right after, they'll win it. I think his anxiety is there. I think he's there. I think that anxiety.
The Champions League.
That's a big dig at Pep.
The Champions League. The Champions League is obviously an objective. It's a priority, but it's not without still having dominance in the EPL, because we are constantly reminded, and we know this, Sir Alex Ferguson is the GOAT. But what did he do? He dominated the EPL. If you want to talk about what we've been spending money on, yes, and he won two UCLs.
And a Cup Winners' Cup. He won 3 major. And again, I don't mean to be disrespectful. When he won that Cup Winners' Cup, it was a gargantuan and highly respected trophy. Again, history is important. He won those 3. He also, before coming to Man United, won that trophy with Aberdeen, who are a minnow.
Who's the last team Real Madrid has lost a final in Europe to? It's Aberdeen. It's Sir Alex. Put some respect on my guy's name.
There's no problem about Sir Alex and his respect. What my point is, the respect with regards to Pep and the project to coming to Manchester City. And the project has been to establish the club as a dominant club. Now, the final hardware that's necessary for everyone to agree this is one of the best teams ever is the UCL that everyone's reminding us of. But the project in itself is to be dominant. So the fact that we are competing with Liverpool, and we've been told Liverpool has assembled the best team ever to be competing and challenging 1 point ahead of them is what this spending and this project has been about. So you can hold it over us, and you should, because the Champions League is important.
But Man City, Liverpool are competing with you. You're not competing with Liverpool. Liverpool is competing with you. They're spending less than you. They're competing with you. You're spending the most. You're the trendsetters. They came after.
How they manage their club is one thing. That's like saying any club that's spending less is they're competing ahead and no one's competing down. So Man U's not competing.
No, but it's more difficult. It is more difficult.
Absolutely.
If you've got less money, it's more difficult.
So everyone's competing how they see fit, how they're able to spend.
No. But the lack of money is not a choice. We haven't got as much money as Man City. That's not a choice. I can't just say, I'm going to chuck another 100 million in.
Lack of money in terms of availability or choice to spend is two very different things, right? We have managers that choose to spend and managers
I'm sorry to interject. If it wasn't for a time barring law, you wouldn't even be allowed to compete in this competition because you falsified your accounts to show more money. So you're spending money that it shouldn't even be there. And the reason you guys got found innocent,
the whole rule was put in to negate competition as well. So
it wasn't. It was for sustainability. Since FFP came in, European clubs overall they went for a point from a net loss across all the leagues in Europe to a net positive. So it's actually that was the rationale for it.
Just very quickly, I don't want to get drugged down into this. You look at Chelsea right now. If FFP wouldn't have come into play, they would owe a lot more than £1.6 billion in loans to Roman Abramovich. That not possibly a guarantee. The reason that slowed down was because of FFP. They would owe more money to Abramovich than the club is worth. They'd be in more trouble than they're looking like they're in right now. FFP was very, very important because what happens when these sugar daddies and these oligarchs and these billionaires pump in billions of pounds is to a club that, by the way, even if you and falsify sponsorship deals, is when that owner leaves, and at some point Sheikh Mansour leaves, you leave a gulf and a problem because all the sponsors and all the money being pumped in goes with it, but the overheads and the expenditure is as if you're still there. FFP has to exist to protect the long-term future of the clubs. When you've got all the money coming in, it's great. It's never going to end. Chelsea fans never thought they'd see this day where they're suddenly going to have they could potentially have a £1.6 billion loan against their football club. And if Man United costs £50 million a year to service at £400 million, you ain't got to be a mathematician to realise that's a hell of a lot of money being dragged out that club. Do you know what I mean? They ain't signing no more Kai Havertz for 75 million. They're signing Lee Catamol's little brother. You know what I mean?
Right here. Look at him. Right here, everyone. Right here.
I've got some super chats that I've got to do here. Do me a favor and smash the like and share button. Gunner Souls, thank you very much for coming on, having your say, bro. I'm going to just refresh some of the panel here. Top man, thank you very much indeed. I think is it pronounced Jinky? He's pronounced Jinky. He's on the show with us here. How you doing, my guy? We'll come to you in just a minute, my friend. I've got a lot of super chats to jump through here. First one says, City without Kyle Walker in their defense crumbled, is what D. Yeah, he was playing quite well, to be fair. He was finished, though, you could tell by the end. Real Madrid changed FIFA difficulty level settings in the last 10 minutes. That was what it was like, actually, when you're about to lose and you put it on amateur to win. I've never done that. Going to leave City this season is what SS believes. I don't think so. Real destroys Liverpool much better midfield is what KC. In fairness to KC, every single time Real Madrid got through to the next round, we've all pretty much said, they get beat by this team. And he said, no, they won't. So I'm not going to go against KC anymore. I'm not. Thank you for this donation. Nothing being said on it, but thank you. Fraudiola has been shown up for the fraud that he is once again. Spent close to $2 billion at City alone and still bottles it. That's mad, you know. Real have a 100% win ratio in Champions League finals. Liverpool have a 50%. That's a mad stat, you know. It's a mad stat. Missing person, Blue Viper, last seen in Terry's stream, screaming top dogs on the table just before Real Madrid's 2 goals. Yeah, he was in the stream and he disappeared. Always outspend other teams in the league he competes in, and yet always worships like he is this god or something. Proper fraud. Talking about Pep. Kamel says Man United will win the Champions League before. Don't, mate, please. I respect the banter, but please don't do that. Please. Dominic here says City might as well just try first to win the Europa League. Yeah, build up some reciting poems. I think they're talking about you, V. I think they're talking about you. Premier League versus the Liga since 2006. 10 European finals. Spanish teams have won all of them. A better league with much better European history, even in a rebuild. Yeah, by the way, it will be embarrassing for Liverpool to lose to this Real Madrid team. I'm just putting it out there now. Just getting that seed planted early. Go on, Liaz. What you saying, bro?
Terry, me and you this whole Champions League season, we've been on the same page, right? Real Madrid, they weren't going to beat PSG. And then all of a sudden, Benzema shocks the world. But they're not going to beat Chelsea, right? And then all of a sudden, they do it again. And there's no way they're going to beat Manchester City. And then we got to put some respect on Real Madrid, honestly. And this is coming from someone who's wanted them to do this entire time. I'm done now saying, that they're just in it to make up the numbers. This Champions League final, honestly, if I'm a Liverpool fan, I'm not extremely confident. I think Liverpool will have the right to be excited for it. Obviously, like, they're probably the best team on the planet right now. But Real Madrid, man, have shown us every single game, right when you count them out, right when you think, this is where the lack of coaching or maybe a lack of talent or maybe aging stars is going to hurt them. And every single time they come and do it. So for me, I'm done writing Real Madrid off. They've shown me.
By the way,
they should have shown me a million times already.
Yes, you've just ruined it though. You saying they're going to do it now is why Liverpool are going to win.
I didn't say they're going to do it. I said I'm done writing them off. I didn't say they're going to do it.
It's interesting. I hear you say, I was saying earlier on today, I'm just not writing them off either. I said it on the straight facts. They're not as good as Man City are right now. I don't think they're even as good as Chelsea have been in large parts.
I agree.
But what they have is those 4 or 5 players who are just top class, top quality. And they know how to do it. They know how to win. They know how to handle those moments. The fans, even the kind of emotion. Liverpool Football Club on a European night sounds different to when they're in the Premier League. The actual noise the fans makes different, and the emotion that spews out of people. And they've just got something about them. I'll come to you in a sec, Dan. I want to try and get through it. I've got like 24 more of these to do. Congrats to City on winning the being. Valiant trophy yet again. This City fan, you're getting a bit of laughter at you there, V. Dumb Premier League fans really think Slippy G's 1/10 of Modric. Me and Leah spoke about that a few weeks ago on Hot Takes. I'm telling you, man, now I can see Pep calling it a day after this. But the thing is that something was supposed to be his replacement. Eric Ten Hag. Eric Ten Hag was supposed to be his replacement. Well, not anymore because he's coming to the biggest club in Manchester. We've got 3 of them bad boys. Pep is leaving City, allergic to the Champions League, calling him doo-doo. Money doesn't buy everything. City will never win the Champions League. Real Madrid and Liverpool are Champions League royalty. History over money. Vitor Gaming, what's good, my friend? Hala Madrid is what Mackenzie says. 2022, the year that undeniably showed City to be bottlers and chokers with no European pedigree. We have PSG and now we have MSG. It's what's being said there. Daniel, remind these clowns there's levels to this.
I've reminded him.
He's reminded it.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Another reason why a lot of people, I've seen a lot of comments today saying Klopp over Pep. What we saying about that? Klopp over Pep. We agree?
No, Klopp's not even above Mourinho. Klopp's not even above Mourinho.
What are we talking, all time or right now?
Let's see. The
All
season's
time.
still young.
It can be all time.
All time, no.
Even if Klopp wins the Champions League, he's still not above Mourinho, let alone Pep.
I agree.
I mean, he hasn't really managed teams of that same, Dortmund wasn't really, on that same level, I don't think. Like,
Klopp
I can have 31 trophies.
like he wasn't managing Real Madrid and stuff like that. But he could get there. He could get there.
First of all, you should never put anybody on a pedestal to a point where they can't be matched or surpassed. So you can't just say Klopp can't surpass Mourinho or can't surpass so and so. What I would say as a Liverpool fan, I wouldn't swap any of those guys for Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah, and I'll give Liverpool and what Klopp's doing like high ratings and some greatness. But like you said, Terry earlier, I need to see it back to back.
Klopp hasn't even got double figures yet, and like Pep's got 31 trophies. How's that even? It's not even a debate. It's not even a debate.
No, I mean he's not there.
Pep managed Barcelona, Bayern Munich, City with loads of money. This guy Pep managed Mainz.
I think they're doing different things.
Yeah.
They've
But
done different things, like
31
Klopp-
trophies, and you're gonna put doo-doo on it.
Mo, I hear
Give Klopp a little bit more time. He might get there. You never know.
Mo, I hear
Who wants something never?
Mo, I hear
Klopp-
your, sorry, who's talking? I can't. Is it Dan? So I hear your point, Mo, that he managed Barca, Bayern, then Manchester City, but it's also about being like at that level where those clubs come in for you. Like Pep Klopp, by the way, and this is where the conversation. This is again the binary thinking. Right now, Pep and Klopp are on the same level, but in terms of greatness, Pep come out the blocks and was at this level almost straight away. I know he had a very good team at Barca, but he also made a lot of changes to the way Rijkaard was playing in terms of where the high line sat and everything else. So career-wise, Klopp doesn't touch Pep yet, but right now, as it stands, that's a very different conversation. Like I always make this analogy. Right now, Anthony Joshua definitely beats Mike Tyson in a boxing match. It doesn't mean he was better than Mike Tyson in his heyday, and that's the same with football managers. You know, when Pep and Fergie met. Fergie was at the end of his career. Like, he outdone him. Yeah, he was 70 odd years old, bruv. Like, you're not talking about 45-year-old Fergie. You're talking about an old man. But a good question being done there. This constant choking in the Champions League is inexcusable. Messi and Xavi Iniesta, gave him a career. If you still defend him now, you have no credibility. What's your thoughts on this, Jinky? Who do you support, by the way, my friend?
United fan. So,
so you've got no love, Rossi. Do you think people are being too harsh about Pep's career?
Oh, absolutely. I heard someone just say earlier about I'll give Klopp time. Pep's younger than Klopp. He's got time as well. And the guy's won 31 trophies. Let's give him time, because the way that he's going to surpass everybody. He's going to be the top in terms of the number of trophies, the way it's going. So this whole Klopp recency bias, like Klopp is a great manager, very charismatic. He's doing great things for Liverpool, but it's recency bias as far as I'm concerned.
Where does Pep go from here? Like, where is he gonna go if he leaves City, guys? Where's he go?
To a checkbook. Oh, sorry. He's gonna. That's an interesting one. I don't know.
Richest Italian
I'm really
club.
thinking about it. Where's he go?
If Pep leaves, all of you start twerking and trying to get him. Every club tries to twerk and get Pep.
I would never swap Klopp for anybody.
Okay, all right. Let's give you the exception.
The point I was trying to make, though, the point I was trying to make earlier, though, and it's in reference to what we were talking about. It's two quick things. One, the reason why I never get the Pep thing is obviously I understand that Klopp's route was different, but when we talk about why David Moyes and other managers have the money and can't do what they're supposed to do when they have the money, then we criticize them and say they're not managers of that level. Then when a manager of that level is able to use the money effectively, we're criticizing him for using the money and being able to use the money. That's one thing, to just put that argument to the side. Second of all, from yesterday's talk and what we were talking about, and this is not a jab, and it's going to be taken as a jab, even though I've put out this disclaimer that it is not a jab at Liverpool. But this is what I was talking about yesterday when I was making reference to mentality monsters, and I disagreed with the Liverpool fans, including Terry, when we were talking about I'm not respecting like giving yourself a challenge by allowing Villarreal to score 2 goals and make it interesting, and then you come back and dominate them and score. I'm not respecting that. This is mentality monsters. When your back is up against the wall, when literally there is literally no way out, you're literally being held against your will and being asked, do something now. Like Man City literally said, do something after scoring that goal. And it's not like they scored the goal in the 5th minute of the game. They scored that goal in the second half. There was literally minimal time for Real Madrid to come back. And that is mentality monsters for me. That's being able to come back when your back is against the wall. So,
and I get that. It's a great example of it. What are you saying, Jay?
I was just going to say, somebody in the comments says Pep goes to Newcastle because they have cash. That could be where he ends up next. I can see that. I'm not going to lie. I can see that.
Via, I want to respond to you though. Yeah, you're right. Everybody would want him at their club. Like right now, I'm quite happy. But even if Pep was available, to stick with Ten Hag because it's been done now and it's
stop that. You don't believe that, bro.
I'm joking. But the point is, no one's saying he's a bad. I think this is what people hear now, and this is what you're hearing. You're hearing us criticize that he hasn't won a European trophy with City, and you're equating that to they say bad manager. We all know how good he is. We all know how brilliant he is. The point, if he comes to Man United and spends £1.5 billion, has 6-7 years, builds a squad that's winning leagues, winning FA Cups and League Cups, but we don't win the Champions League, based on the history of my club, he hasn't created one of our greatest ever sides, because the 3 other great sides that we had, or 4, one died and couldn't win anything more. The Busby Babes would have won European trophies. They were that good. The other 3 teams that go down as our greatest all won that trophy. And the reason I say that is because winning the trophies matters more than points. It matters more than records. Winning trophies is the only commodity in football that really counts for anything. And I'm not digging Pep Guardiola out, but for his City team to sit on a table with the great Milans, the great Liverpools, the great Ajaxes, Barças, Man Uniteds and co., they have to win this trophy. It's not that it makes him a bad manager if he doesn't, but the team doesn't sit on that table because there's an entry fee, and the entry fee is league titles and Champions League. Without those 2 trophies, you don't come in. It's as simple as that. You can't come to the club.
I hear that point. The only thing that I was going to jump in and chime in about is when they try to say that Pep, Klopp, Pep having money, Klopp not having money. That's why I want to jump in, because they try to use it as a differentiator between the 2 managers in who's more capable or who's not. But we've all filed for credit cards, right? Pep got approval for high credit. Klopp had to prove himself to be allowed to spend that type of money. That's the analogy that I want to point out. Pep was trusted to spend and get the players that he wants. Klopp had to earn it, and now he's acquiring the players that he wants.
Rack, mate, what you got to do, bro? Rack, just get Klopp to ring up Experian, check that credit rating, bro. Get that credit rating up, man's going to be good.
Here's one last thing I want to say on that, to be honest with you. Like, the last thing, just to defend Pep here, which I haven't done much of tonight. When a manager starts at Barcelona, it's almost impossible to go to a lower job. So to say, like, why hasn't Pep done it at these smaller teams? You don't go from managing Barca and Messi and Xavi to then, like, the next day being like, yeah, let me go take over.
Like Rijkaard. Like Rijkaard then.
What's up?
Well, like Rijkaard.
Why Rijkaard, you said?
Like Rijkaard.
Rijkaard, after that, who knows what happened to him? I think he went to Turkey. But listen, like, you just don't, like, he won the Sextuple with Barca. Like, his first year, he won 6 trophies in the season. No one's ever done it. He wasn't going to go and take over Napoli in Italy. It just wasn't going to happen. You're going to manage the top team when you start at the top.
Yeah, Pep is a genius. Pep is a genius.
He is.
Pep is one of the greatest managers of all times. I have no problem with saying that. That's absolutely fair.
He is. Let's do some more of these super chats here. I want to come to the Ruben Diaz one in a minute. The result is a victory for football. More messy, less tippy tapper. Not a bad ref today. Try over. I don't know what that says.
Grebo was the ref when
Barcelona versus Chelsea. Yeah, that was a very bad. That was a very bad night. When that European fraud Fergie won the Cup Winners' Cup, European football wasn't even better than the Copa. I can't pronounce that word because I'm dyslexic.
Libertadores, yeah.
So based on that, Casey, we're gonna. I'm fine to get rid of all the 80s European and all the 70s European trophies from record. I'm happy to get them all wiped off record because we'd lose one Cup Winners' Cup and Liverpool would lose their heritage. So I agree with you on that one. Remember, I played chess. I played chess, not checkers. Shush, thank fuck. By the way, does that mean we get rid of most of Real Madrid's 13 as well? I bet you disagree with that. Thank fuck, that's over. Was beginning to run out of clubs to go out on loan to, is what David says. Sarim Iqbal, how you doing, bro? He says the Man City comment from the Man City fan is exactly the issue with Man City. Small club mentality. They won't win the Champions League until this changes. Oh, come on. Fergie's European record is a disgrace. Man United fans claiming Cup Winners' Cup and Charity Shields in arguments. Have some shame. Last time Real Madrid lost in the European Cup final was against Liverpool in 1981 in Paris. That will be a very interesting final. Salah ran out the chimney into the smoke. Pep got way ahead of himself by taking off KDB, was already thinking about the weekend and forgot he still had a game to win. Very much what a lot of people have already said. Fergie, Klopp, Ancelotti and Mourinho will always be my GOATs because of how they achieved their success with clubs not at the best at that point in time. Pep couldn't even do it with Bayern. Fraud is what he says there. Ancelotti was so cool. Maybe that spreads to Real Madrid. Do you remember when Arsenal fans said that Ancelotti was not good enough anymore to win major trophies?
I didn't say that.
I'm not saying
Let's
you.
talk
I'm
about
saying
Goal, by the way. He was coaching Everton last year, and now he's in the Champions League final of Real Madrid.
I was just going to say that.
I know, and look where they are. Do you know what I mean, they're about to get relegated? Do you know what I mean? It's
With a
it's crazy,
500-year-old squad, huh? With a 500-year-old squad. As well.
More importantly, he's living in Madrid and not in Merseyside. Like that's the biggest glow up of all time, man.
Hey,
He couldn't wait to get out of there.
Hey, when you say that, Rack, you wouldn't move to Liverpool, would you?
Maybe.
Shush. Yeah, you know you wouldn't, bro. You know you wouldn't. I wanted to ask you, Liaz, Benzema again tonight, coming up clutch.
I mean, yeah, but to be honest with you, like I give him his dues when it's due. I didn't think he had a great game, to be honest. I think it showed immense mentality that he got the penalty in the end. He was able to convert it. I didn't think he played an amazing game. So does tonight probably seal the Ballon d'Or for him? In my opinion, yes. But I think tonight, honestly, the guy I keep going back to is Camavinga. The kid is special, man. The kid is
I tweeted you about a minute or two before you put out your viral tweet. I was very upset that yours did better than mine. But you're a big man on Twitter. But like you're right. And I just when he came, I'm kind of it's one of those things where I feel like he should start, but actually don't like change something that's working in the final. Almost leave him until that 60th minute and then bring him on to Boss Fernand to bring him on to Boss Fabinho, isn't it? That's what you got to do.
100%. And at 19 years old, I keep saying it every single tie he comes on and the entire shape of the tie completely changes up. And he's so mature for his age. He's so calm, the poise on the ball, defensively solid. I think right now we're looking at a guy when the next 5-6 years, you'll be talking about him as one of the best midfielders in the world. And I think they're linked with Tchouameni. If they're able to get him into a midfield with him, Valverde, I thought was very good tonight. Real Madrid, I mean, people keep talking about the last few years they've been in a rebuild and like it's all about next summer of Mbappe, but they're ahead of schedule. This team is ready to compete now. They've shown it, and they're only going to keep getting better. So
this is what like me and Terry were talking about earlier on Straight Facts is that like you kind of got like if Man City was going to get their Champions League in, they kind of needed to do it now because you're looking at this Real Madrid team. You look at Barcelona as well. Like I know they were in the Europa League and they kind of fumbled there as well, but like those teams are coming back and it's not going to take them 5 or 6 years to get it together. One good window with some of the good players that they already have. Like, I mean, Real Madrid looks like they could be right back up there doing what they've been doing. So they could win the Champions League now in a rebuild. So I just think Manchester City might have missed this opportunity here, but they'll still get further into the competition next season. I'm just saying this was a good opportunity when the other real European powerhouses were kind of weakened. That makes sense.
Off of the points that people were saying as well, though, you have to give some love, especially even if you don't like predict him to be great going forward, one of the world-class players of the future. In this Champions League campaign, you have to give a lot of love to Rodrigo, man, because he's really come on and he's done bits for Real Madrid. Obviously against Chelsea, the finish, like everyone talks about that goal that he scored. It was not an easy goal. I promise you that. Like that was not an easy finish. And then the two goals today, like against Man City, like literally in the blink of an eye, comes on and does his thing. Like you just got to give him a lot of love. And Real Madrid are getting a tune out of their squad. You know what I mean? You know, when you need every single player to contribute, they're getting a tune out of every single player. It wasn't long ago. Remember when Benzema was literally telling I've forgotten who he was telling not to pass to Vinicius because he wasn't believing in his source. And now this team has gelled together and it's looking good. Like, and obviously, look, it's not even a secret. I'm gonna be screaming my head off for Real Madrid, supporting them in that final because they have to beat Liverpool, like 1,000%.
Yeah, and everyone's going to want that. And that brings me on to like the great segue into kind of the final point of this. Who's winning the final now, people? Because you obviously got Liverpool in there that you'd probably say right now on form, best team on the planet right now. Real Madrid just don't know when they're beat. You know, there's a super chat that was out here earlier. I'm only scared of Vinny versus Trent as an example. You got Benzema who's been on fire. Can he do it? Will Mo Salah turn back up? Diaz on like what we saying here? I'm gonna go to Jess first on this. Who's winning this champion? As things stand right now, of course, injuries and all things to take into consideration. But if they're playing tomorrow night, who you betting on?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna go with Liverpool. I just think they're on another level. And I know that might sound silly because of what we just seen Real Madrid do, but I don't think Liverpool have the same jitters that Man City had, like when they got scored on. I just scored against. Sorry, Terry, but I think that Liverpool since January have really just become the best team in the world. Like, I don't even think it's a question. And I don't think they're going to give up this opportunity. I really, really don't. Not with the quad on the line, none of that. So for me, it's got to go to Liverpool. But do I think it's going to be a straightforward type of deal? No. I think Real Madrid will throw something at Liverpool, but I think Liverpool will come out the other side. They're just literally the best team in the world right now. See that, Liverpool fans? I don't have an agenda.
See, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. And I'll tell you why. What we've just witnessed with Real Madrid, too many unbelievable clutch moments, real like game-defining moments. We've seen it with Chelsea, we've seen it with Man City. We're about a minute or two talking about how Pep actually had a great away performance. This team have produced in crazy moments. It's those defining moments that you actually think, nah, there's something here. There's something in the works going on. And Real Madrid, that Liverpool are pretty entitled when it comes to Champions League. But then you got Real Madrid. This is their trophy. And you can give that stat about Paris and back in the day when Liverpool lost, Real Madrid lost a final. But the fact is, this is their trophy. There's been too many clutch moments. It kind of reminds me of, when Chelsea won the Champions League against Bayern Munich. And that whole run-up, they always had these moments. They had the Barcelona moments. There's all these sort of weird clutch moments. You're thinking there's something in the works here. And I see the exact same thing with Real Madrid. They believe 14's coming their way. And I think they'll get it. I think Liverpool dominate the final, but they'll get their clutch moments. They'll get their clutch moments for sure.
What are you thinking, Rack? Are you confident going up against this team?
I think we're a really, really good team. And I think we'll play any team in the world. We'll give them a good run. And my friend who just spoke, he said that he thinks it will happen. He hopes it will happen. I think Liverpool win the league, win the Champions League, and maybe even do the league as well.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't. I hope it doesn't happen. This quad thing is pending. Any who else on the panel's back in Liverpool aside from Jess and Rack? Anyone?
I am, of course, back in Liverpool because they have Virgil van Dijk. They don't have Diaz in the back. This is a big part of Liverpool's defense, to be honest. If Van Dijk today plays with City, if he chose City back in 2017, City would have won this game, to be honest. It's the crumble. It's this guy doesn't crumble. Look at the stats. It backs this guy, Virgil van Dijk, leads not only your defensive line, he leads your whole team. He puts the players in the right position, communication, leading. This guy, to be honest, I have not seen, and I've watched Maldini, I've watched Costa Corta, I've watched big guys. This guy, to be honest, like, it's not only his defensive ability, but his leading ability. But again, Real Madrid, to be honest, with the Champions route, beating PSG, Chelsea, Man City, and we have learned that when you have that route, you go to the final with like that edge of like they're more confident. I know that Liverpool will be like the team that are on top, but this Real Madrid team with that route, I think they will go to the final with like their hearts on that trophy, to be honest.
And look, what I will say is, on their day, Madrid could beat us. I think when we talk about teams crumbling, we crumbled a little bit yesterday. For that first half, we did not look like the team. If we go out with that same attitude, Madrid can absolutely beat us. But if we play to our potential and Madrid play to their potential, I think we can win it.
You're missing Karim Benzema, though. You're missing that point.
I said if we play to our potential and they play to their potential, I think we can beat them.
Just more on the Virgil van Dijk. Like, if anything, I feel like he's been kind of the weaker out of the defence, and I think he's kind of slowing down. Still a brilliant defender, but you look at what the pace, and Karim Benzema just causes chaos, and that's enabling people like Vinicius Junior, Rodrigo if he wants to come on, and that is the thing. He doesn't need to dominate in a game. He can just have the half chances. We saw it at the Etihad, and his bad game was today. His bad game was today. He's already got that out of the way. He's gonna come up trump. I tell you.
But how are Militao and Nacho and Carvajal gonna deal with Luis Diaz, Mane, Salah, Jota? Like, remember, their defense is pretty bad, and Liverpool have more answers to adversity than Man City does when things go bad. They can come up with magic moments as well. So I think equally, they're going to give each other a difficult time. I just feel like when you look at the balance of the two teams and the experience and the fact that Klopp mid-game makes the right decisions, I just feel like Liverpool are different than Man City. I don't think they will crumble, but Benzema will probably have an enormous match. So will Vinny. It'll be a good game, I think.
We're all Liverpool if Chelsea wins that cup final, and we're all Liverpool if Man City gets a separation. But we're all Madrid if they win both. If they go on top of the City,
I hear you on
it's
that.
as simple as that.
I hear. I've got some more super chats here. This one, Jason says the City fan in the panel is delusional. Your owners expected domestic trophy dominance, but it is the Champions League they want most. FSG have spent almost 2 billion.
I think you said, for God's sake, they spent almost 2 billion.
Oh, for God's sorry. That's my cheers for that, Leah's. My brain needs help sometimes. Nathan here with an amazing donation. Thank you. Says Chelsea will be spending like Liverpool. Todd Bowley will be similar style to FSG. I'm a Chelsea fan, so maybe a bit of bias, but Chelsea will be fine, and I'll trust the process. Honestly, this club is draining me. Thank you, Nathaniel, for that super chat. Joshua here says I knew City were done when I saw Pep getting worried listening to Carlo Ancelotti pre-game comments and Super Jack wearing jeans, taking pics around. He was wearing jeans before a game. Oh my God, terrible! In the suit, wear the suit. Do you know?
I can't believe we didn't have a conversation around Grealish and the fact that he had those 2 chances, didn't make them. 100 million spent. What the F? What the F?
Well, pull it up now. I mean, he's had a shocker of a season. And if they don't win the league and they win nothing, it needs to be focused on because he cost 100 million. I know. V turned his camera back on. You awake, son?
See, the game took too long. My daughter's doing piano. I'm dealing with. There's so much going on because of the extension. But I'm here.
We're talking Grealish now.
Flop of the season.
Over Lukaku.
I feel like Lukaku's the only thing saving him. Like, that's it.
Over to you, friend. Over to you.
Oh, your initial reaction should not be over Lukaku. Hold your L today, brother.
No. Grealish has had a disappointing season, but he's not the worst signing. He's not the flop of the season. Absolutely not. The man just played and inches away from scoring in the Champions League.
But he didn't.
No, he didn't. But you're going to judge him on how he's playing.
Are we measuring success over if he's the worst signing of the season or not? Are we measuring success?
Is he in the top 2?
So hold on. Again, because I'm dealing with the kids. Are we all saying that Grealish is the flop of the season? Show of hands.
He's up there, bro. If he's not, he's not.
It's not him. It's Lukaku. I mean,
he's up there, but let me explain. It's a classic thing. It's a classic thing with City, right? Players come to Pep. Don't expect them to dominate year one. All right. Everyone was quick to tell me Cancelo was a flop. Why'd you buy him? He's rotting bench. And what does he do? Has many question whether it's him or Trent as the best right back in the league, right? You got to give these players a year to settle in. You got to give Grealish this year to settle in. Now, if we're having the same conversation,
Luis Diaz didn't need a year.
Can I? We can come
Luis
back.
Diaz didn't need a year, so that's fine. That's fine. But again, in Pep's system, Bernardo Silva, Cancelo, even Mahrez, acclamations needed. So you can be reactionary, you can dismiss football history if you guys want to do that. But we know the history within City, these players need time, and year 2 is where they shine. So I hope I'm invited back to this panel to be able to show you guys how nice Grealish is playing.
I can't believe I'm going back.
That's cool, but we're talking about this season. We're not talking about what's going to happen.
He's having a disappointing season, but he's not the flop of the year.
Is he the flop of the season?
No, he's not.
But again, maybe not the flop of the season, but he's had a terrible year. But I've just been sent something here. The real reason as to why there's some talk tonight about City moaning about strength in depth and they haven't got enough players. That's a terrible excuse. But someone has just sent me through the real reason that Man City are never going to win the Champions League.
Yes, sir.
Due to an African curse, Yaya Touré's agent has confirmed this is why he'll never win the Champions League again or with Manchester City. This is confirmed. This is done. as to why it's not going to happen.
Can I tell
I
you
swear
something,
to
bro?
God that must be true. It has to be true. I swear. Like I believe in the divine and everything,
We
but
forgot Eto as well. You remember Eto when he forced it out the club, bringing Ibrahimovic, guys?
exactly.
And this is the worst transfer of the history of football.
Like
Yeah,
literally, Terry.
I just want to tell you this, bro. I think Grealish, and this is a prediction we can come back to in a year. Grealish will be the player that bucks the trend of City players taking 1 year. I'm very confident in saying this, and it might be a hot take. I don't think Grealish will ever be a success at Manchester City. And this is coming from someone who's a huge Grealish fan. He's probably my favorite player in the league last season. But I think the way he plays football, I don't think that he has the explosiveness and the ability to speed up his game the way that the guys like Mahrez, Bernardo Silva, and Cancelo did. I don't think Grealish will ever basically live up to his price tag or live up to the hype. I don't think he'll ever be a success at Manchester City.
Lias
He
can't
doesn't have
Pep
enough
Guardiola
dimension to his game.
but can't
agree.
Pep
I
Guardiola
agree.
can't
Brilliant take,
can't
Jeff.
Pep
Yes,
Guardiola mold that in him? Can't he do that? Because you've seen him do it to
Grealish is
multiple
27,
players.
bro.
But I still Pep Guardiola is a great coach. You said it yourself. He's an incredible coach. Surely
Yes.
a coach of his standard can get that into Jack Grealish.
My
Yeah.
prediction
Of
is
the times that he
Grealish will be the guy.
Okay.
My prediction is Grealish will be the guy that he won't be able to do it to, and especially you have Foden on the left, anyways. Who I think is only going to keep getting better and better. I don't see it with Grealish in the City team.
What would you define as success, though? Because bear in mind, he's cost £100 million. So naturally, probably similar to what happened with Pogba when he came in at the figure he did. You're expecting what, Man City to get Champions League? What is success for him? Because it's going to be a different view.
Impactful.
Yeah, I agree
impact-
with that. He'll never be a guy on City that you look at like he'll be the one starting game in, game out. Like, for example, De Bruyne is an untouchable on City. When he's fit, he plays. Bernardo, to be honest with you, has secured himself into that kind of player. Grealish, he might be a nice player for City. He comes on, he's going to be better than this season. This season is a disaster. But I don't think he'll ever be a player at City that really stands out as one of the guys. And I think 100 million, you can never live up to that.
To back the Man City fan here, I never thought I'd be doing this.
Like this season, will he ever be like Mahrez for them this season, Lias?
No.
I want to back the Man City fan here. I want to back the Man City fan because
what you saying?
I want to back the Man City fan because he makes an excellent point here. I never thought I'd be doing this, but here we go. Year one, yeah, you're right. A lot of Man City players don't turn up, and you kind of question a transfer. Mahrez is a prime example. Cancelo. I kind of look at Grealish and see him as I wouldn't say as a gradual replacement for KDB, because don't get me wrong, like KDB is absolutely quality. I'm not saying he's going to match it, but in terms of that tempo and control, that's what Grealish can give you. He isn't explosive. He isn't going to do those quick ones, but what he'll do is pick that key pass, that killer pass. That is Jack Grealish. That's when you look at Man City, that's what Kevin De Bruyne is. Is Kevin De Bruyne going to start doing that, next season, the season after that? Probably not. He's going to slow down eventually.
So I think to answer your question earlier about what success looks like, when you're playing in the attacking front three primarily of a team of City's quality, I don't know what the actual figure is. Goals and assists matter, output matters. And I get that I've seen people talk about, he's been great in the intricate and the build-up play. Great. You need to be scoring those goals and or assisting those goals. You need to be setting them up, or you need to be putting them in the back of the net. And I'm talking combined over 35 a season, 40 a season, when you cost £100 million. If we have those standards for people like João Felix. We look at, forget how much we even bought for. When it comes to people like Mo Salah, we look at them and go, right, next season, Luis Diaz is going to have that on his neck, on his back. It's going to be right. You're that good. 35 plus goal assist combinations is now what's expected minimum from these players because of how far up the pitch they play and the position they're in. They've got to do it. And that, for me, if Jack Grealish starts doing that along with the trophies that City wins, then it's a great signing. But I still feel like he might turn it round. But I think he likes some freedom. I think he likes to be in a team where he's given a bit of a role where he can go left, he can go right, he can drop deep. The thing with a lot of the top managers now, it is so prescribed and almost you have to be in this position at all times, and you can't change. You've got to track back here, you've got to run hit, like it's militant. It's militant. And I mean,
think he would be so good at Spurs. He would be so good at Spurs, like a team like that. Like, I just don't think he's gonna make it at City. I'm sorry.
He'd
probably be good at Arsenal. No, it's true. Like, he just doesn't have that much dimension to his game. He's kind of like a push it past you type, run, stutter step, get you to stop and push it by you kind of guy. And what with Pep, like he's like, you need to be able to think. Those players that he has in his team can do different things, and I just don't see that with Grealish at all. Like I'm not seeing it. Like I'm Stevie.
But that's why I
I'm not
talked about the
seeing it.
KDB factor, because if you look at Man City, KDB is the one who has probably a bit more freedom in that team. It's Pep, it's very regimented, but he's the one who can go.
You get that freedom because he trusts you, though, and it looks like he has very little trust in Grealish right now.
So one thing that's going to be needed for Grealish to shine. One thing that's going to be needed for Grealish to shine is obviously more repetition within the team and knowing where the player is going to be. So judge him harshly year one. He's $100 million player. I get it. No one's going to live up to that price tag. But what is expected of him is going to require more time with the squad. What I do like of him as a player is when the ball gets to him, it's close contact. You're either fouling him to get the ball or he's being doubled or sometimes tripled the attention that he gets. So hopefully we get the player that we want in the center that can hopefully get some passes off the attention that he's getting from Grealish. And then we move. Judge him harshly. Cool. Call him the flop of the season. I'm coming for Lukaku's neck.
Fair enough there. A final super chat here from one of the final ones from Pav says Real Madrid can rest their players for the next 2 to 3 weeks whilst Liverpool have got to go full throttle in the league and cup. Do you agree with that, Ram? Is that the one thing that could benefit Real Madrid, that they'll be fully fresh, rested and raring to go for this final?
It could work both ways because everyone likes to talk about how bad that 2019 final was. The reason was because we had 2 or 3 weeks off. So maybe it could work in Liverpool's favor. Liverpool's best asset is playing games. I know Klopp likes to complain a lot, but playing games, winning games consistently, that's their best asset right now. And having those kind of games consistently whilst Real Madrid are more or less on the beach, it could work in Liverpool's favor instead of Real Madrid. But we'll see.
It could do. I'm sorry that I didn't send the link out to anyone else, but it's because with KJ backstage, anyone else was waiting, it was already full. We will do some more call-ins on this later on in the week. I know Chike wanted to come on and have his say. I'm very, very sorry indeed. Terry, you're an absolute clown for writing off Real Madrid. It's just an opinion, bro. It's just an opinion. Do you know what I mean?
Clowns then.
We're all yeah. It's that. Everyone who's been on the panel tonight, thank you to all my super chatters. You are absolute legends. Nearly 2,000 likes on the video as well, which is sensational. So thank you to everyone that's done that. Really appreciate all the support you give the Terry, especially our match reaction shows. They go from strength to strength each and every single month. We've never hit 2,000 likes while we've been live on the air, though. So if the rest of you in this next few seconds could smash that like button for us, that would be absolutely sensational. So thank you. But Jess Mo, Man Like V, Ram, of course, Daniel that was already on, Jinky, Liaz and Rack, thank you very much for joining us. It means a great deal. Until next, actually, we're 75 away from hitting the record, so just hit the damn like button, please, people. I don't even think all 4,300 of you still watching can't hit the like button, otherwise we'd be on more. So get that done before we leave, and we'll see you all again very, very soon. Take care, people. Bye-bye.